Walking down the neon street tonight, everything is shining, feeling so right. We don't need a map to find our way. Spinning in the starlight, we'll never stop. Dancing all night, taking it to the top. This is our world, let's live it loud.
Kosher pickle you got there, Max. I'm gonna keep this short.
Spinning in the starlight, we'll never stop. Dancing all night, taking it to the top. This is our world, let's live it loud.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the All Elite Heat podcast. You have your usual cast here. That is me. That is Bobby Steele. We should be getting a third shortly when that person joins. I'll keep it a surprise. Katie, hi, my favorite people. That is not the third, sadly. Unfortunately, that is not our third person. Cactus, Katie, Bobby. How you doing today?
I am doing well.
I don't understand. I just knew that was about to happen. I could tell your internet was just not it. It muted you for some reason. Let me try to unmute you. There you go. Are you good?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm good. Yep,
cool.
I'm
So
good.
how
We're
you doing
good?
today, Bobby? Vincent did join. That's the third that I was talking about. We got
What's up, guys?
Vincent back on the AEW Dynamite show. How you doing, Vince?
I'm fantastic.
Did you watch Redemption?
I did not watch Redemption.
Are you aware of the results?
Some.
Some? Okay. So I guess we should do that first. Just go over quickly what the results were. So you had the Conglomeration taking on Lethal Twist. That was in the buy-in. Wait, did you guys watch the buy-in? Do we want to?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we want to discuss Redemption, or do we want to discuss Dynamite tonight?
I was going to go through quickly the Redemption stuff because we did the prediction show, and some of those predictions were not it's called AEW Forgiveness. I forgive you for this bad joke. Hey guys, what do you guys think about Redemption? Mad Dog Kelly, we were just getting into that. A lot of swerves, in my opinion, that I was not expecting. The Conglomeration one, I think we can kind of skip past that, and I think we both kind of predicted that. The six-way ladder match. So it was not Leo Rush in the match. I think we both predicted Leo Rush would win the qualifier, so I guess technically we got that wrong. But Nick Wayne did win his qualifier match, so he was in it, but he did not win the actual ladder match. It was Speedball Mike Bailey that won, which we both predicted as well. So he's going to get the title shot. That's actually happening next week. They spoke about it on Dynamite tonight, so I guess we'll get into it. I thought it was decent, but honestly, I thought it could have been better. I like the show. I thought it was fun. I thought it was very, very, very long, though, but it ended a lot earlier than most AEW shows usually do, so they made good time.
I agree. Yeah.
We had the tag team match, the Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay. We both got this wrong. Jon Moxley, Will Ospreay, they did lose, which is an interesting twist there. We'll go more into that like when Dynamite starts. Then we had Fletcher and Bandito, as we both kind of predicted. Fletcher did retain the International Championship from Bandito, so not much eventful there. We had the Dogs versus the Bang Bang Gang. If I remember right, I think we both said the Bang Bang Gang would win, but the Dogs actually won, which is good because they did need a big win on a pay-per-view. It seemed like they were kind of getting a lot of L's, so good for them, but I like the Bang Bang Gang. I'd like to see them get some momentum, but maybe. Hikaru Shida versus Maya World. My favorite moment of the night, actually. Maya World did win the TBS Championship at
Yep, we got that right. Yep.
And we both kind of, we were both kind of rooting for her and both kind of wishful thinking, and it paid off. She did win, so that's one that we did get right. And then Cajun Colt versus the Death Riders. Specifically, it was Claudio and Pac. Cage and Cole did win. I said they would win. I think you did as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
right?
I did. Yep.
Because we did break on, I think, 3 of these matches. Jericho and versus Ciampa.
Give me
Jericho.
the Painmaker.
Oh, right, that's key. Painmaker, Chris Jericho. But no, Bobby. Matt, you'll be happy to hear that on her birthday. Don't forget. That's true. And she did drop Maya World. We're speaking about, just to be clear. She did drop her first piece of merch, which is like a T-shirt. So that's nice. But I think we both said Jericho would win as well, right?
Yeah.
So move on to that one. Mark
Yep.
Davis versus Andrade. I think we both said Andrade would win, right? Or
I'm not
did you say
sure.
Mark Davis? I think you.
I kind of for some reason picked Mark Davis because I thought
That was one that
the
we broke.
Duncast family would come out. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did say Andrade, which makes sense. I'm glad to see him have a title now, to something to do. I guess while the title picture is very overcrowded, was MVP on the pay-per-view. Very much so. Him and Maya World. Jericho match was very entertaining as always because he's go. I will say that Jericho match was really something. Happy for Will. Oh, we're getting to that. Thekla versus Willow Nightingale. Wait. Did you predict Thekla?
I did, but I would have been all right. Yeah, I would have been all right with Willow winning. I would have been all right with that.
Yeah, I did predict Willow, and she did win. So this is the first time that she's the AEW Women's World Champion. So congrats to Willow. We'll also see her again tonight on Dynamite. Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight. This was a bit of a no-brainer. Kenny Omega did win that match, but it was a fun match. If anything, I would say as a main event, the match was fun, although I thought that match could have been I was expecting that match to be a lot better than it ended up being, but it was still a good match. I was just a little bit like, I expected a little bit more from that. Planned for months, according to sources between Willow and Mercedes. Yeah, their stories have been intertwined for a very long time. So, which they make hint to during the show, but yeah, so I guess we can go into the actual Dynamite. But any thoughts on Redemption, Bobby?
You're forgetting the Osprey and Moxley in the Young Bucks match.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
At Redemption. Yeah, you're forgetting about the Moxley and Osprey against the Young Bucks match at Redemption.
Oh yeah, we spoke about it. We said that the Death Riders.
My bad. Yeah.
That the Young Bucks won.
But like,
which we both got
yeah,
wrong.
but also too, don't forget where Kenny Omega like turned on Osprey there at the end.
Because
I got.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah. By the way, all right. I know we're going to discuss Dynamite here. I'm a little disappointed because if I was Osprey, well, first off, I understand why Osprey, didn't want to use the chair and everything. But look, if I was Osprey and Moxley handed me that bag, I would have used it because Moxley was right. Omega was going to strike first, and that's what happened. And look, Moxley, he was right this whole time, man. Like, come on.
I will say during the tag team match, Moxley was 100% right. Will Ospreay was on some dumb shit. He's like, oh, he has a history of concussion. Okay, you're in a match. You're supposed to be trying to win. Why are you letting the person heal up and like rest in the ring because you don't want to hit? Like, I agreed with I was like, okay, you dragged it. Now, Moxley dragged it when he was like, let's put the bag over his head and suffocate him. That's Death Riders do. Yeah, I was like, okay, you didn't have to do that. But during the match, like when they had the match with the Young Bucks, Will Ospreay was on some dumb shit. I agreed with Moxley. It's going to WWE. He's not.
Is everybody forgetting that Kenny Omega? Is everybody forgetting that Kenny Omega used to be a heel? Is everybody forgetting that he used to be with the Don Callis family? With Don Callis and all. That's how Kenny Omega won the title from Moxley. Back when they were at Daly's place,
Even
for
the
the
Young
first
Bucks
time.
used to be heels, and
Yeah, I know. Thank
they
you.
have a mean streak. Like, come on, Will Ospreay. I need you. All In is gonna cut. Oh, I agree. Honestly, thought something big was going to happen. Obviously, nothing did. I thought the New Day was going to show up, but they did not. What? Wait, Kyrie's saying also did not show up at Redemption. You're just worried about WWE people showing up. Don't nobody got time for that. Big things did happen. Maya World won her first title. Not Will Ospreay. Willow Nightingale won her first AEW Women's Championship. Big things did happen. Stop worrying
Aside,
about
there
WWE
were.
people.
I thought the pay per view was a good show. I thought real was. There were some moments that I didn't expect happen, and there were some matches that we got right. There were some matches that I got wrong. A few surprises got thrown in here or there, but all in all, I thought it was a really good pay per view. Once again, Tony Khan had a good card, and yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, their shows tend to be a lot less predictable than many wrestling shows. Like there were a lot of predictions I was very confident in, and that just ended up being really wrong, which is interesting. But yeah, we'll go into Dynamite now. I am happy that Willow won. Same back and forth game. I did hear that Sheamus. I heard that his contract is done or that he's leaving. I don't know if he's coming to AEW though, but I did hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Anyway,
Vincent,
speaking of Will Ospreay and Moxley, we did start the show with them kind of backstage. So essentially, we know that Will Ospreay chickened out. He didn't want to put the bag over Kenny's head. Kenny made him pay for it because Kenny then got the jump on him and then ended up being the one to attack him. And so after that, they basically had the Death Riders and him going back and forth, basically saying, "This is what you get. I told you not to trust Kenny. I told you to go ahead and do it. You didn't want to do it. That's your fault." At one point, Will, I think it was Pac. Will, like, I guess, got in his face, kind of punched him, and then obviously they were upset, but Moxley held them back because I think Moxley is still trying to get in good graces with Will Ospreay, and I guess push him toward the dark side a little bit. So he's still telling him, you need to not trust Omega, and I need you to really dig deep and unlock something within you if you want to beat this guy. So we get more on that, I guess, later.
yeah,
Later on tonight.
yeah. So I want to piggyback off of that right quick. So you notice too when I guess after when Ospreay did what he did Sunday, you notice when the Death Riders went to the back, and Moxley was like, "It'll be I forgive you, Will, if you just go ahead, pull the trigger, Will." He's like, "You can't trust Omega," and then like Omega did what he did. But yeah, going back the Dynamite tonight, yeah, backstage what happened? Then we see Hangman.
Yes, that's correct. So Hangman comes basically, and he tells Osprey that he's gonna have his back at All In, basically, and that basically, he's rooting for him. But Osprey says that he thought he could trust Kenny, and he can't trust Kenny. He's not sure who he can trust at this point. That means he can't trust Hangman. So basically, he just aired it. He was like, okay, sure, like. And Hangman's like, okay, well then, if you don't have to trust me. Let me show you. Let me show you that I can have your back. Because Hangman does have history with Kenny as well. They were friends, then enemies, then kind of friends again. Who knows? But Will Ospreay just isn't really sure. So they speak more on that actually in the main event segment, which happens after the last match. Uh, hmm.
I was gonna say, you want to know who you
Back
can
at
trust?
all time. Disagree.
I said, I want to say right quick before we go on to the next one. You want to know who I think you can trust? The Death Riders.
You think that he can trust the Death Riders? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, he should have. He should have from the very beginning, because Moxley was right about the whole thing.
Moxley was correct. Not the whole. He wasn't correct about everything, but he was for
Well,
the most part correct.
he was correct. He was correct. He was correct about Kenny
Correct for the
Omega.
most part. He was correct. Yeah. And he was very correct about the young. Well, I'm not gonna. Well, Osprey, you were really on some dumb shit in that match. But regardless, Venomous Vincent.
Osprey be tripping, man.
Do you have any words about the story with Moxley and Osprey and Omega?
I wish I could comment more. I mean, I saw it tonight. I'm not really following. I need to. I need to start following more.
Fair enough, it's
I don't
fine.
really understand the whole concept of what's going on with. I mean, I know Kenny Omega's a champion. I know. Um, I feel like it's like a trickery thing going on.
It's
My like
because it's a lot of moving parts.
they're trying to one person's trying to pull the other person, and it's kind of like they're on like a teeter totter, and they're trying to figure out which side they want to be on.
Yeah, and that's Osprey, so he doesn't know if he wants to go because he's been with the Death Riders for a little while now, but not really fully leaning into their ways because they're tweeners. Death Riders are tweeners. Even though Moxley is very much babyface now, he's still a tweener. Like they're very much tweeners.
Yeah.
But Will Ospreay is he's more of a white meat babyface. So some of their ways it doesn't really mesh with his persona and disposition. So he's been hesitant to kind of pull the trigger, which is the way that Moxley portrayed it on certain things. And Moxley wanted him to pull the trigger at Redemption because you know how the Death Riders do that thing where they put the plastic bag over the head and suffocate their opponents. He's like, if you're really trying to be a Death Rider and really like be one of us, we need you to do this. And he couldn't do it, but we know Omega. He took that opportunity to get the jump on Osprey, and he ended up being the one to attack him, even though Osprey technically helped him. Yeah.
Yeah, let me say this though. In this business, if you want to be up top, if you want to be the number one guy in this business, sometimes in life you gotta pull a trigger. If you want it so bad, you gotta pull a trigger. You got to.
So, with that being said, my question to you guys: do you feel that Osprey is going to turn on the Death Riders, or do you think the Death Riders are going to turn on Jon Moxley?
Oh, I think that Osprey is not going to turn on the Death Riders. I think Osprey is actually probably going to lean into them. And not only that, I think that leaning into the Death Riders is what's going to win him the championship.
I think that's what's going to happen at All In at Wembley.
I agree. I think he's going to it wouldn't really be a heel turn. I think he'll just unlock the dark side within him.
Bobby, what do you think about He's Out coming up?
Wait, I'm sorry?
He's Out.
Who?
The show, He's Out.
He's out. Wait, sorry, I don't
I'm messing with you guys. It's All In. You guys watch He's Out. Come on, guys. Come on.
No. That listen, I'm gonna give you this right now. That was well done. We didn't get that deserved.
So, guys, I gotta ask you because I watched this match and I think it was a great match. Andrade, El Dinero, Nick Wayne, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. This was a great match. It really was. I mean,
anything Andrade touches is gonna just.
I just think the flow of the match, like how I like the fact that I feel like each person got time to like do their set, and then they all came in, and then the one person went out, and they did their set, and then I think it had a great flow.
It did, especially for a triple threat match. Like sometimes those can be a little bit hazy, especially when you have wrestlers who their style can be very, I don't know what you would call that, very showy or fast paced.
Is Matt saying he's going to it? He's going to be he's going to be in London.
It would be London, by the way.
It will be London, England.
Oh yeah,
I thought he said he's going.
And Osprey will get to win the title in England. That'll be fun. EC is
Wembley Stadium. Yeah, his hometown.
Andrade, he did. So this is his first defense of the AEW National Championship that he won at Redemption, and this was a fun match. And it's funny that Nick Wayne he didn't win the I guess ladder match for the other title, but he still got a title shot today. He didn't win it though, so womp womp for him.
Who did I forgot who Andrade defended the title tonight against. Who did he defend it against?
Nick Wayne and Jack Perry.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The other person was Jack Perry. Yeah. So that was a fun match, and they did talk to Renee Paquette, remarkable. Sorry, that's key. Remarkable Renee Paquette. She did talk to Andrade after, and basically she asked him, if he was going to be looking forward to entering the Casino Gauntlet match or doing a qualifying match to enter the Casino Gauntlet match. And in Andrade fashion, he just goes, "How you know?"
Yeah, how you know?
So no
Yeah,
one
I
knows.
guarantee. Yeah, how you? Yeah, I guarantee that's like gonna be the what chant that
That's what I keep
everybody's.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of chanting
So
what
is Jungle
everything,
Boy
everybody's gonna say, "How you know?"
Luchasaurus, are they gone now? Are they not together no more?
I think Luchasaurus got hurt, if I'm not
Hurt?
mistaken.
I was gonna
yeah, I
say, I
think.
remember
Yeah,
they were together for a minute.
Yeah, and it's funny because he was hurt before, and then he came back, and then they were together again. And I do think he got injured again, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and essentially, yeah. But they were supposed to be in. As I do think that is what happened, and then they ended up giving Jack Perry the. I think it was the title that Andrade has now, and he ended up doing some single stuff for a while. So they're still together. It's just they can't do anything because I think that Lucha is hurt. And they were feuding with Andrade, Luchasaurus, and Jack Perry. They were feuding with Andrade, but that was when Andrade was with the Don Callis family. So it's been a while. Oh, by the way, Andrade's a babyface now. I don't know if you saw that, Vince.
yeah.
Yes, I did. I tell you, even he tries so hard to talk on the mic. He's still bad.
What?
But that's his thing now. He doesn't talk no more. He just says, "How you know?"
He just did an interview
Yeah,
tonight.
how you know? How you
But
know?
he said like 3 words. How you know?
Yeah,
You know what I think
Vincent.
is
How
so
you know?
smart? This is like
What do you mean? How do I know?
this is a wrestling
No,
like
that's his thing.
trick.
That's his thing.
That's his thing. That's his catchphrase.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
his
like a wrestling
catchphrase.
trick. When someone is not really good on the mic, giving them a catchphrase usually is a shortcut to like them not having to cut a promo because you really all have to say the word and then your natural charisma can kind of do the rest. So he
All
doesn't
right,
he's not
all right.
good at English. So he just says how
I
you
just
know.
want. All right, this one comment. Nick Wayne is whack like Jay White. No, Nick Wayne is underrated.
First of all, Jay White is not whack. So and neither is
Yeah,
Nick
thank
Wayne.
you. Apparently, David Arquette knows of
What's this
Nick
about
Wayne
Mad
from
Dog?
a video. Oh,
Mike
What's this Mad Dog
Weston's
comment?
Cat knows Nick Wayne from a video I saw on Instagram. David Arquette. Okay. Is he a fan? Or was he
I
Nick
don't
Wayne
know.
is an AEW wrestler, Charmaine. Oh.
Knowing Mad Dog, he's gonna have all the answers.
No one still told me who Nick Wayne is. Anyway, we got more backstage interviews. The Brawling Birds. So, basically, because we know that it's the Divine Dominion, right? That's the
yep, that's it. Yep, Divine Dominion.
So basically, they're saying that they want to basically go toe to toe with them. They want to fight and continue their feud, but they've been basically ducking them, and it's on. Basically, they're saying it's on site whenever they see them. So they're continuing that feud basically with those two, the Brawling Birds. So they went into commercial after that, and then I don't know if this happened before or after the next match, or actually, let me see if I can see it. Okay, so I think it happened I think it happened before. There was another interview. Yeah, there was. So it was before. So that's the Don Callis family. More specifically, they were talking to Fletcher. And so he did retain the international championship at Redemption, and he did it without any help. The Don Callis family didn't really interfere. And Mark Davis, another member of the Don Callis family, we know that he lost the title. So he didn't really have the same success. And another person that didn't really have success is Kevin Knight. He lost in the main event to Kenny Omega. So to them, that's proof that Kevin Knight needs the Don Callis family. Mark Davis needs the Don Callis family, and he doesn't really need them. He's kind of top of the top. Kevin Knight, he doesn't really agree with that, and if anything, he still kind of wants the title that Fletcher has because he wants to win a championship that they can really get. So there's still a lot of tension within the Don Callis family. Kevin Knight, I don't even think is an official member yet. But the thing about AEW is you gotta have allies. That's something they touch on later in the night as well. You gotta have allies. There's no you can't really go it alone because everybody's in a faction. So I guess we'll see more of that later on. But speaking of the Don Callis family, the next match, representing them, it's Brian Cage, Jake Doyle, and then Kyle Fletcher. They're taking on Brodito, and then Speedball Mike Bailey, who did win the ladder match to get a title shot against Fletcher. That's
By the
going to
way,
happen.
we called that. By the way, we called that
That
in
they still
our
exist. Like, what
prediction.
the hell?
Yeah,
That
I think
Dallas still exists? What?
no, I think we called that in our prediction in that ladder match that Matt Bailey was going to win that.
We both did, yeah. We both
Yeah.
picked him to win.
I know this is off the subject, but I saw Ring of Honor, and I have to say, did anybody catch Ric Flair on Ring of Honor?
I didn't even know that happened.
No, I didn't know that happened. No.
Yeah. He I don't know, let me see. I thought it was this past
Honor.
weekend. He came.
Oh, I see
to
it.
Ring
Ric
of
Flair arrives in Ring of Honor. Wow.
Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna tell you what, he looked, honestly, if you go back and like look at his videos in the last couple of weeks of what he looked like, and then you saw him on Ring of Honor, I don't know why, but he looks way better on Ring of Honor than he has in the last couple of weeks. I don't know if he looks like an old Ric Flair.
But he looks like healthier, you mean?
Yeah, he looks a lot. He looks a lot. He doesn't look hungover. He looks healthy.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I think maybe because he probably was drinking before. Because I think.
Oh, is that what? So when you drink after you drink, you look better when you drink.
No, I mean he was looking bad because he was drinking. Because it makes
he does.
inflammation in your face. Yeah, it makes you look bloated sometimes.
So I want to know if that's a one-off or not.
Didn't they do some kind of thing where they partnered with his energy drink? I hope it's a one-off. For
She says, "I hope it's a one-off." She doesn't want to see Ric Flair on my TV.
Ric Flair says he walked out of Ring of Honor after they asked him to badmouth WWE. That's what came up after I searched up Ric Flair Ring of Honor. That's from 4 years ago, though. Ask him to badmouth WWE again so he can leave. Anyways, Brodito and Speedball Mike Bailey.
This wasn't a bad match.
No. Well, I think
No, it wasn't.
one thing I like is I still like Brodito. I like that they're still fighting together, even though they've both kind of done single stuff. I'd still love to see Brody King win a singles title. Bandito's done it. But this was a fun match, and they did win. The babyfaces did
That's
win.
a sleeper. They're sleeping on him so bad.
Who?
Yeah, he's
Brody King. They're sleeping on him so bad.
Yeah.
Or I think it's more so that the roster is very crowded right now, and the top of the card is very crowded. But I think Brody King is a shoo-in for, like, I would say he's a future world champion at this point. I could see it happening. Okay, sorry, I didn't go to Bobby. Bobby, any words on this match?
On the Brody King and
The triple threat. The trios match. Sorry, the trios match.
the Conglomeration and
Oh no, sorry. The Brodito and Speedball versus Don Callis family. So
it was a good match.
Yeah,
It was a good match. Didn't have a problem with it. I knew what the outcome was going to be, so yeah.
This is not WWE, okay? We're not firing people and asking them to take 50% pay cuts to stay on the roster, okay? This is this is a real thing. Anyways,
Yes.
We got a sit-down interview with Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks did defeat Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay at the.
This is going to be very interesting. You know how I look at this match? I look at this match. Remember back in, 2000? Was it 18 when the Hardys took on the Young Bucks?
Mm-hmm.
This is like a crossover with, now it's Edge and Christian taking on the Young Bucks.
Yes, and they did touch on that. Not the Hardys thing because of, I think, obvious reasons, but they touched on the fact that this is this is like a dream match for them and probably a lot of people. And the Young Bucks said this is a match we've always wanted to do because they're icons of the tag division. Like, this is Edge and Christian. And likewise, Cage and Cope, they said that you guys are people who, like, they said you guys are icons everything that you've done for tag team wrestling. They said the Young Bucks are people that kept tag team wrestling alive during a time when tag team wrestling was really not in style and really kind of going out, and nobody was really putting a lot of value and emphasis on it. The Young Bucks kind of came and revolutionized that, especially on the end. I can't think of another non like WWE tag team that was able to kind of go out and do what they did like on the independent scene. So tag teams are so important. Very much.
I can.
Who?
Why not the Briscoes?
The Briscoes haven't done what the Young Bucks have done, and that's no shade. Rest in peace.
Oh.
Rest in peace, but that's no shade at all.
Oh.
But I will say though, to the point of the Briscoes, I do think what Mark Briscoe has been able to do, like on his own since his brother's like tragic passing, it does speak to like their talent. Like if they wanted to be singles, they really could have, but they were just really that passionate about tag team wrestling and really wanted to wrestle together. I think that says a lot about them as well. So
I agree.
Legends, yeah. But essentially, Christian. Well, we know that Christian technically never really. Christian to me is still a tweener. He technically turned babyface when he agreed to align with Cope, but he did so kind of begrudgingly and said, we're not going to be friends, but I'll be a good partner to you and kind of thing. He told them, he wasn't really as flattery and complimentary as Cope was. Christian was like, I'm glad your wives are going to be there at the pay-per-view. And then the Young Bucks was like, okay, well, we don't know about that. But they said, it's going to be an honor to wrestle you guys. And, they said, we respect you guys, but at the end of the day, we have to beat you. The Young Bucks said that, people have always said that we're too small. We've always kind of fought from behind. So they're not really, I guess, afraid of the challenge of facing people that they basically consider legends.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome back, Venomous Vincent. Hopefully that's going to work for you. But
sorry, my internet's spotty right now. It came out.
Any what?
Weird, yeah. The internet kind of cut out for him, but it's okay.
Oh, it was.
But any words on the segment, Bobby?
Nah. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good segment. That was about it.
What about you, Venomous Vincent?
You mean the Young Bucks and the
Yeah, well, actually, you kind of did say, but anything else?
This is it's been they both have had a long career. Young Bucks are four-time they're four-time champions. Adam Copeland and Christian. I get them all confused because of the names. Christian and Adam Copeland. They've been in the game for a while. I mean, I remember seeing these guys as kids doing the 5-second poses at SmackDown and Raws. So it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see these guys, how far they've come from when they first started. I mean, I believe, wasn't Edge? Well, I know Edge. Wasn't Edge part of the Attitude Era?
Both of them were. Both of them were.
So it's like, and that was,
remember that TLC match with the Dudleys and the Hardys, Edge and Christian, that was Attitude Era, yeah.
So that was in the 90s. That's what, 2-3 decades later. Like, they're still wrestling. I mean, they're still putting their bodies on the line for the fans. So, I mean, I don't see them here too much longer. I mean, I think we got a couple good matches with them. I mean, it's probably gonna be a great match. They're probably gonna put on a banger because this is a dream match.
It's gonna be a banger, yeah. And I wonder if there's gonna be some kind of stipulation. I wonder if they're gonna do the ladder thing or anything like that. But this is like two kind of generations colliding. Even though the Young Bucks, like you said, have been in the business a long time, they are still technically a generation after.
I think it said. I think if I read right, I think it said 20. Let's see. I think it said that they've been in the business for like 27 years.
Crazy work. Who, the Young Bucks?
Yeah, I think it said both Cage and him. Oh no, excuse me. Cage and it says Cage and Cope have been in the business for 27 years.
So like 99. Yeah,
Yeah.
that checks out.
That's a
But hey,
long. That's a long time though.
remember though, they were out for um what
Well,
a
Edge
good
was out.
6. Well, no, Christian was out too for a while.
Oh, did he get hurt as well?
Yeah, Christian had spinal neck surgery.
Ah, that's true. He did.
So
I
yeah, they were
remember that
about.
now.
Well, Edge was out for a good. I think he was out for a good 8 years,
I
7,
was
8
gonna.
years.
Edge was really out. I don't think
Yeah.
Christian was out as long as him. But Edge was really out. Yeah.
But also to remember, Christian had that nice big run over at TNA for a while. Like,
That's yeah. He spent majority of his, I think, careers in like the 2000s, like tens era. He was in TNA pretty much that entire time.
and he
He did.
wrestled. He had good matches like Kurt Angle and Sting and Samoa Joe. Like, and
Abyss.
he Abyss. Yeah, he continued the ladder match stuff. Like, he did a lot of ladder match. I was just watching some stuff yesterday on YouTube, and he had some great matches with Jeff Jarrett. I mean, if you guys want real good wrestling, like, and different too, because back then it was a 6-sided ring, so I mean it's a lot, it's a lot different a wrestling style because they have 6 sides instead of 4 sides.
That was when he went from being Christian to Christian Cage, and he kind of made.
Well, they had to change the name because if he went over to WWE or if he came from WWE, they had to change the name.
Exactly, and make it something different. And I remember they did like some one-time deal with TNA. This was when Christian had went back to WWE, where he would show up at a TNA pay-per-view as Christian Cage, as kind of like a, I guess some kind of deal with them. I think I was that to get Mickey James in the Royal Rumble. I think it was.
Yeah, Mickey James.
But now they have a formal.
I think so.
Agreement. So now they're really working together. And if you let me tell it, I think they own the company. But that's beside the point. Let's move to Maya World, the new AEW TBS champion. She defended her title for the first time against Persephone, who I think because AEW's been doing a lot with her. I think she has a dual contract now with them and CMLL, if I'm not mistaken. But
I think they do.
And these are two like younger talents that they're really trying to build up. So this was a fun. I thought it was a shorter match. This is probably the shortest match on the card. I thought it was decent.
It was.
You can tell that Maya World. She's still green in a lot of ways, but she has natural talent in my opinion. I think that she's someone that's worth investing a lot in. She did get help. Chris Statlander. She did come out because Hikaru Shida. She basically tried to because she's not happy that she lost the title, so obviously she came and tried to disrupt the match and everything, but Chris Statler came in and basically helped Maya, and Maya was able to kind of capitalize on that distraction, and so she got the pinfall on Persephone. So that's basically how that went. All good things come to an end. That is true. That is
It wasn't I you know what, I enjoyed this match too. I mean, I can't sit here and say that every time I watch Dynamite I enjoy some of the matches, but for some reason tonight I was intrigued that I've noticed too. I've noticed that when they do smaller venues, I mean not like real small, but they do like mid-sized
more
venues.
more intimate.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because they can keep the attention span or what it is. I mean, that might sound stupid, but I've noticed with the bigger arenas, it's the flow of the show doesn't stay together. But I mean, tonight was just really. I mean, like, you know what really sucks about AEW, I gotta say, is that Tony Khan knows that his father or even the network doesn't like. They pretty much know that like if he goes over, Tony's going to pay. But it's like I wish Tony would understand and realize, like, fan wise, like it's a lot on. Like, I think 3 hours of SmackDown was a lot, and like you got to realize when you go to these shows, there's matches before it, so they're starting to shoot at 7, so 7, 8, 9, 9, 10. I mean, technically, it's almost 4 hours. That's a lot of wrestling. Like people, that's
I've been to AEW live shows and they can go really on. But you
Uh,
know what it is with AEW,
I've been to
especially if it's a pay-per-view. The thing about them is that they do things in such a traditional way where it's like they're selling traditional pay-per-view. You pay us $50. In terms of streaming, they're only on one streaming site now, or they only have a deal with HBO Max now. But before that, you basically had to like pay for cable, or you had to watch on a live TV package with a streaming service, which
yeah,
usually it's more. They're not kind of cutting corners in that way, and they do basically hard ticket sales. It's not the buy one get one extravaganza. Like this is the price for the ticket, and they keep costs low because they want people to buy it.
I was
They
going to
want to
say,
make it sure they want to make sure that anybody who is spending that kind of money, they don't feel as if they didn't get what they paid for. Basically,
and
they overload these shows because they know that they're asking for, I guess, more. Because with WWE, you pay, I don't know what it is,
about
$10 for the I guess, what is it, Peacock? Are they on now, or Netflix or whatever?
yeah, I
And then
was
you
going to
watch everything, right? Sorry, go ahead, Bobby.
no, yeah, and I was going to say piggyback off that, yeah, and like AEW Dynamite tickets, getting a ticket for a Dynamite, they're not like, they're not high price like WWE is or pay per view. Like you could get tickets for Dynamite or AEW pay per view like pretty good cheap, you know?
Exactly, yeah. And so they're like, if you wanna, the tickets are accessible. If you wanna come here, just know you're not gonna leave feeling like you didn't get something. We're gonna give you a lot of wrestling. We're gonna give you a lot of show. Even if you don't, even if there's only one thing that you want to see, or maybe it's like you don't like everything, we're gonna you're gonna walk away liking something. We're gonna give you everything,
Yeah.
and then you pick. So it's basically like buffet style wrestling, which is where like I've been AEW shows where I like stayed for the whole time, and then there's times where like there's a collision after, and then a Ring of Honor, and all kinds of stuff, and there was a buy-in, and I'm like, I don't really need to see all of this, but I never leave feeling like I didn't get my money's worth. So I think that's
Right.
kind of the idea. Although Venomous Vincent, it is true. Stamina of the crowd is a real thing,
Yep.
because if I'm filming Collision after and we just watched 4 hours of wrestling even before we even got to Collision, now that crowd is not as hot. That crowd is sparse because people are leaving now because they're tired, or it's
Yep.
it's later in the night. That kind of hurts the Collision product, which is actually on TV. So I think it's something that they have to learn to balance.
Oh yeah. But what was next
Your
on
point, and your
Dynamite?
point, sorry, and his point about the venues, the thing about the shows feeling a little bit, or I guess the crowd reacting differently during the larger venues, I think a lot of that is the venues that they pick. Like, because I've been to some of the larger shows that AEW does, and the venues they pick for those sometimes, especially Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe, I will never not bash you. I hate that. I hate that venue. I'm so glad they don't really run that venue anymore. You can't really see the way that it's shaped. You can't really hear the crowd on TV. It's not great. So I think part of that is also the venues. But Bobby's right. Let's move on.
Yep.
Um, we were I think after the TBS Championship match, was there? Oh,
Was
yes. So Mark Davis, he did lose the national championship, but he actually is setting his sights now on Will Ospreay, who presumably is going to be the next world champion. Who knows? I think he's going to win it all in, and he knows that there's an asterisk right on Will's win because he needed help from the Death Riders, and then presumably he's going to need help from the Death Riders at All In as well. We know the Death Riders, they don't really get along with the Don Callis family, so Mark Davis is kind of claiming his flag and basically saying he wants to be the one. If Ospreay wants to, he wants to get a shot at Ospreay, which I think is smart. He's getting ahead of it. He's
he
basically
is.
staking his flag in the ground, like before anybody else can kind of, I guess, make claim to it. He's like, no, like what happens at All In, like I want to be the one that's gonna win the title. Or if Ospreay loses, I want to at least be able to face Ospreay, who is at the top of the chain. That'll catapult him into the world title picture as well. So I think it's kind of smart.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I guess, champions, the new AEW Women's World Champion, Willow Nightingale. This is her first title reign. She comes out. She's being interviewed by Renee Paquette. She's
She,
basically, yeah, go ahead,
she
Bobby.
did deserve it though. I was gonna say
And the
I
crowd
was
said that.
yeah.
The crowd was
I,
chanting, "You deserve it."
I like Willow.
I think that's one thing about Willow is like who can't not who doesn't like Willow? Like I
Yeah.
just don't see. Well, actually, Venomous Vince, are you a Willow fan?
No, I think she's worked. I think she's worked really hard. She had the TBS Championship for a very short time. Well, no, was it TBS, right? Didn't she have
It
the
was
TBS?
Yeah.
She had the
Yeah.
TBS, and she was the tag champ with the Harley as well.
Yeah, she had a really short reign as a TBS champion. So,
Hey,
I'm
look.
glad to see them put the belt on newer people than just put it on the same couple.
It's been a long time coming,
Yeah.
and that's something I did notice about AEW as well is they have their sort of old reliables, like people they really rely on to be in the main event picture to win the title. Although we do get new champions, like Thekla was a new champion, Maya World is a new champion. We've never seen a lot of the that was a new title, to be fair, the tag team championships for the women's
Yeah.
don't really count.
All right. All right.
Um,
This was a
in
good.
the world
This was
title picture. Yeah, sorry, go
yeah.
ahead.
This yeah. I'm sorry. This was a good segment and all, and it was going fine until that one woman had to come out,
Oh,
the most overrated woman in the history of wrestling, and I will go to my grave with it until the day I'm
CEO.
no longer here, until I
CEO.
take my last breath. The most overrated woman in the history of wrestling, bar none, had to come out there, had to stick her nose where it did not belong. I'm not going to say the name. Y'all could go ahead, but I'm not saying it.
The
Nope.
CEO.
listen, put some respect on your CEO, okay?
No.
And she did have business because guess what? She's gonna be
No.
competing for that title against Willow at All In, okay? She came out and she says I said that who doesn't like Willow. There is one person that doesn't like Willow. Mercedes Moné does not like Willow Nightingale. Oh, by the way, Willow Nightingale's mom was on the show for the celebration. She said her mom supported her, helped her win the title. It was all wholesome. And then, as Bobby said, the CEO came out and things turned sour on the celebration, and she was getting booed out of the building. She had that heel heat tonight, and you know what? Good for her. She was getting booed out the building, and she says, "You know what? I don't like Willow." She says, "It's not because everybody loves her and she's so bubbly and smiley and all that. She doesn't like Willow because she doesn't like the fact that Willow is always showing up in her story, in her narrative, in her career. When she got hurt and she had to leave wrestling, when she was having that match in Japan, it was Willow that beat her. It was Willow that ended her TBS title reign, which was, I think, the longest TBS title reign in the history of the company. I think she defeated Jade Cargill's record with that. And now at All In, and Willow's like, I have the one title that you could never win. You were 12 belts Monet and all of that, but you never could win the AEW Women's Championship. And you tried, girl. You had title matches. You didn't win them. And so you're mad because it was always me. And now you've lost all those belts. You're trying to redeem yourself. Suddenly, I'm the one that's the champion, and now you got to make your way through me. And she's beaten her in the past, so she doesn't like Willow because she just feels like Willow is always there when things are just not going right for her. Speaking of being there when things are not going,
And
yeah, go ahead.
I I was going to say right quick though, and you know what? Not only that, I think that sorry overrated woman, the most overrated woman in professional wrestling history, is jealous of Willow because Willow is a better wrestler than her on any
That,
given day, and I will put $100 on it or make it $50 on it, saying that Willow is a better wrestler than
I
the
like you going back.
On no
Yeah.
planet, on no planet, on no planet, and definitely not Earth.
Yes, yeah,
Is Willow a better wrestler than Mercedes?
I will debate that with anybody on any given Sunday, any given Monday, any given Tuesday, any given Wednesday, any given Thursday, any given Friday, any given Saturday. Willow Nightingale
And you
is a
will lose
better.
that debate on
No,
any given Monday,
no,
any given Tuesday, any given Wednesday, any given Thursday, any given Friday,
no,
any
no,
given Saturday, Sunday.
no. Willow is better than that overrated woman in AEW.
CEO said something that was very, very true in this segment. She made Willow. There is no Willow without the
No,
CEO.
no, no, no,
You better crack a
no.
one with Willow
That false.
if you want to say different.
No, no,
That is true.
Willow. No,
Willow's
Willow.
ascent started when she defeated Mercedes Moné. That is a fact.
No. I'm not buying that at all.
Bailey,
Y'all
Stephanie
can.
Lacaire, Bianca Belair,
No,
Willow
no,
Nightingale.
nope.
The list go. Listen, Mercedes makes careers. She does. It's a fact. I love
Man,
Willow. Willow's very good, but Mercedes is one of the
y'all
greatest
crazy.
of all time. Just might be the GOAT.
Let me find out what
But let us
y'all are
WrestleMania. I'm
drinking.
sorry.
Let me
Kool-Aid.
find out.
We're drinking
Yeah, let me
spiked
find
Kool-Aid.
out. Yeah, let me find out what Kool-Aid, what kind of Kool-Aid y'all drinking. Y'all
Listen,
crazy.
listen. The red one, which is always the better one, the red one or the blue one. Listen, Mercedes. I don't see a world where like Willow just hasn't done what Mercedes has done in the ring and out. She just hasn't. Goat versus Donkey. What? I know Vince knows this. I do. I know Vince knows that Mercedes had 13 belts at one point. Yeah, he does know that.
Yes, I do know.
Grand Slam 13 champion. Name people who have more belts than Mercedes. Nobody. I'm
Y'all
saying
crazy. Y'all
you guys have to acknowledge your.
y'all
I'm
have done lost
saying,
y'all's mind.
ooh, you know it's bad when Katie calls you out for sleeping.
Who's sleeping?
Dun dun dun.
I'm not sleeping.
Yeah, who's sleeping?
Every question you've given me, I've answered.
Yeah.
No, my
I
dog.
mean,
Wait.
no, I was reading this comment. She said it's been sleeping.
Oh. No, my dog. I'm not going to acknowledge that overrated woman.
What you mean the CEO? I'm gonna get you a shirt, Bobby. I'm gonna send it to you of the CEO.
No. Please.
What size you wear?
I will set that shirt on fire. Shoot.
Wait, Vince. I don't remember. Are you a CEO fan?
No, I do.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
Man,
I am outnumbered. I am in enemy territory.
Y'all
I
tripping.
might have to.
I mean, you like what you like, you know. I'll tell you this though. I feel like when she had the belts, she wasn't really wrestling that great. And then when she dropped all the like 13 belts, I think I'm not going to say it was the belts, but when she went away for a little bit and came back, I think that she's wrestling a little better than she did.
I think you did. I remember you saying that you felt like the matches she was having weren't
they just weren't that good.
It could, because I do remember, I remember us talking about it. I don't know if that was you or Mad Dog, but someone said, "Oh, she's not really wrestling a lot." I was like, she doesn't wrestle every week on Dynamite. That is true, but Mercedes on a week-to-week basis, when she had them 13 belts, she was wrestling essentially every day. Like she was wrestling, just maybe not in the AEW, but she was everywhere wrestling. She was flying here, wrestling in someone's country, in another ring the night before. Sometimes I see she would even talk about how she would be jet lagged and like just have to get off the plane, wrestle somewhere else. It was wild, and she was giving these smaller companies the biggest gigs they ever had. She was wrestling a lot. And I do think that probably, just because I haven't seen all those matches, obviously, but just by virtue of logic, if you're doing all of that, you're probably not doing your best night in, night out, because you're stretching yourself too thin. I do think at some point she probably realized she was doing that. And so I would not be shocked if she would have had better matches if that wasn't the case. Although I do the Beast
Y'all
Immortals. Yeah.
tripping.
Are you
Y'all
talking
so
about Mr.
tripping.
Monet? Are you talking about Mr. Monet? It is true. Mercedes was wrestling a lot, and she wanted to do.
No.
Say what you want about Mercedes Monet, she or Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call it. She loves wrestling. She loves to wrestle. That's what she likes. Like
She's
that.
not a good wrestler. What is y'all
She
talking
is. She
about?
is. Not only
Y'all
is she a good
tripping.
wrestler, she might be the greatest female wrestler of all time.
Y'all
I
tripping on
stand on
some.
Wait,
that.
don't put y'all in there. Ain't no y'all. That's her.
Sheriff, you are tripping on some scissor. Y'all crazy.
Oh, some scissor. Listen.
Y'all,
Well, you'll be happy to know that Mercedes Moné, she got some help from Divine Dominion. They came out to kind of attack Willow, but Willow was able to get the better of them and her because the Brawling Birds came out to help her and even the score. And so, oh, by the way, I missed this in the recap because we went way to the left. They did do kind of a contract signing, and she basically like signed it on her chest and like pushed it. They got really kind of in each other's face. It was very intense. Mercedes Moné
oh yeah.
actually was putting on a masterclass of character work here, and I really like this promo in this segment. And they kind of weaved it in with the Divine Dominion and the Brawling Birds thing. With the Brawling Birds, they did say early on that, or the Divine Dominion said it was going to be kind of on site with them, so it makes sense that they're kind of, I guess, colliding in this way. So yeah, that was that. I apologize for the slander of our CEO that took place in this segment. Let's cleanse our palate a bit. Let's go to Jon Moxley defending the AEW Continental Championship against Commander. I actually really like this match, and this match was one of the shorter ones on the card as well. I thought it was a good. I thought this was a good Moxley match.
I did too. I thought this was a good match. You know, I knew
And he
Moxley
took
was
them
going to
out in the end.
retain.
He took them out in the end, yeah. Yeah, it didn't need to drag on. We knew Commander wasn't winning, but in terms of like the way that Moxley likes to put on matches, I think Commander and him had good chemistry here, actually. And I say he choked him out. I think it was a sleeper hold or something like that. But essentially, the guy went out and he submitted him, basically.
I feel like you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Moxley match?
Yeah, because
Unless
you're
we're
either gonna
talking
get
about the death match stuff.
well, I mean, you're either gonna get a short match with him and you're gonna get the same move sets, or you're gonna get a death match and you're gonna get craziness. So it's like you're not getting high flying stuff. You're not getting anything new. You're getting brawling style matches.
I 100% agree. That's why I say
Yeah,
I
I
think it's
agree.
a good Moxley match. Meaning, I agree with Vince. Moxley's in-ring style is very straightforward, unless he's doing like a death match style thing, right? Not 3 exclamation points. He is old! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Even when he was younger, I feel like unless like I said, unless it was a death match stuff, his stuff.
He's in his late 40s. He ain't that old.
I think for
Who?
wrestling, that's old.
Moxley.
Well, who?
I mean, you think that's old? Didn't Ric Flair? Didn't he do his last match at like 70?
Yeah, but that was old too.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
Are you
have been.
talking about Moxley? Wait, are you talking about John Moxley?
Yeah,
Moxley's what, 40 something, right?
How old is Jon Moxley?
he's up there. John Mox.
He's 40.
Oh, he's only 40. I thought he was late 40s. Oh,
Wow.
well, that's still old in wrestling, but LeBron James just signed a 2-year contract at 41, so I guess it happens, right? Not that Moxley's LeBron James, but I think this was a good Moxley match in the way that I think Commander complimented his style well, and it was a serviceable match. It was fine. After that, Mick Foley, who's now with AEW.
This is weird. Has he been doing this commentary thing, or it's just
he's only been with AEW for what, a few months, right?
I know, but it's so weird to see him with a microphone.
Yeah, he's basically just been doing like interview stuff, because you will usually see him and Renee Paquette together doing things. And we know that because Mick, I think, what was he? He was the commissioner back in the WWF days. We know that he can do kind of a mic character work thing. We know that he can do it, but he's a little bit older. Maybe doesn't have as much stamina. But I think the only reason he's around is because he's Mick Foley. He's got a name. He's got a face. he's a good presence in the locker room. So I think they're just kind of utilizing him the way that they think that they can at this point, because it's not like he's going to wrestle or anything like that. I can't really see him being a manager for someone. But who knows?
Yeah, I agree.
He was speaking with the Bang Bang Gang, and basically they want to do another match with the Dogs. So also in the Death Riders as well, because they have feuds with the Death Riders, the Dogs, because it's gang warfare, like I said in AEW. If you don't have a faction, you better get one, because everybody's with somebody, right? And so
Yeah,
they said basically, see us on Collision if you have any balls and you want to see us, because we know that the Bang Bang Gang, they lost at the pay-per-view, so they want to get their comeuppance. So they're basically putting out that open challenge there. And we got the Conglomeration next, specifically Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. They're taking on the Demand. That is Bishop Khan, Ricochet, Toa, Leona, Gates of Agony, and Ricochet, basically.
But it'd be crazy if I said I was surprised that they lost.
The Conglomeration.
Yeah.
It would not be crazy just because there was no indication to me that the Demand was building up momentum to win this title. So, if anything, the Conglomeration had all of the momentum. So
yeah. I was surprised. I was surprised we got a title change tonight.
I did not. I was like, okay. I mean, fine. Although I was thinking this during the pay-per-view and Dynamite. I'm like, where's Ricochet? Like, we need to see some more of him. He's back. He did lose, because remember, he had the national championship. He lost the title. Now he's back with the Demand. Now they're the trios champion. So we've got him back. I like Gates of Agony, but to be honest, I like them in connection with Ricochet. I don't know that I'm too much of a big fan of them as a tag team on their own, but I like the trio gimmick that they have going on. Like, I find them entertaining, and I know you guys don't agree. I like Ricochet. I think he's funny. I like his character. So
Yeah, you like Ricochet?
Yeah, I like the work Ricochet.
You like Ricochet?
I do.
Yeah, you like Ricochet a lot. You like the CEO a lot too.
Oh Lord,
I like great wrestlers. Yeah.
y'all crazy. But then we saw Hangman Page come out at the end of the match too, and helped the Conglomeration out. Yep.
Did you see Mick Foley out there? He put the chair in the ring for
Oh yeah, that's true. He did do that.
John Moxley. Did you see that, Bobby?
No.
Bobby's like, what?
You didn't
What?
see it? That was like the best part of the match. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's for what it was, I mean, for three guys carrying book bags around like they're going back to school with the belts and what do you expect from these guys?
Hey, look. Hey, Orange Cassidy's the man. All right, I like Orange Cassidy. He's a good wrestler.
I call him Pocket Pool.
After the match, it was, kind of all hell broke loose. So you had Jay Lethal come out there, Lethal Twist. These are people that you mainly see on like Ring of Honor, right? Basically,
Right.
they all come out to help the Demand, and they're basically beating up on the Conglomeration. Brody King comes in. He makes the save, or he tries to make the save, but it's a numbers game. They're still pretty outnumbered. That's when Hangman Adam Page comes out. He's got the chair. And he got a pretty good pop when he came out again too, because we know Adam Page is back. The chair is wrapped in like barbed wire. Jay Lethal takes it from him, but the chair's wrapped in barbed wire, so he messes up his hand. So he basically did like damage to himself. And then Hangman's kind of able to clear the ring and help the Conglomeration out on that front. He is not bad to look at. Oh wait, are we talking about Moxley? Are we talking about Moxley? Is that who? I feel like, because I feel like it's not, because she went from he's old, he is 40, old. It's not bad to look at. I just feel like that can't be about. I feel like that can't be about.
Unless she's talking about Hangman.
Oh yeah,
She's talking about John Moxley.
Oh,
either. You know what? I was gonna say true to both too. So you know what, Katie, we're on the same wavelength.
all right. After this match, we had Kenny Omega come out, right?
Well, they had a segment with the Death Riders, like so Willow Yuta, he was talking about the Bang Bang Gang and stuff like that, and he says they want to bang the Death Riders for their failures because like I said, the Bang Bang Gang they lost on the pay per view, and then we see them come out tonight and they're basically calling out the dogs and calling out the Death Riders, and he's basically saying you just want to blame us for your failures, right? Because
Yeah.
you lost, right? And he says that Daniel Garcia speaks, and he's like, Pac is always right because Pac said that they'll take up the challenge because they know the Bang Bang Gang they're not really going to be a challenge to them. And Daniel Garcia's like, Pac's always right. He was right about Will Ospreay because a lot of the Death Riders, besides maybe John Moxley, they're not super big on Ospreay. They feel like he just doesn't have that dog in him. So he's like, yeah, he was right about Will Ospreay. He says Will Ospreay is like they just think he's soft. They're not really down with him. But John Moxley steps in because he doesn't like them slick talking about his boy. They're like, okay, we're not going to talk about Osprey like that, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, but they are going to have. They did accept the challenge for the Bang Bang Gang, so they are going to basically be in a match, and because Garcia had a lot to say about Osprey, we found out that Osprey and Garcia are going to be in a match tomorrow on Collision.
Yeah, it's a special collision. Right
Yeah,
quick before we
the
get to that
Continental
last
Cup is
segment.
happening. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, there's right quick. Let me go ahead and plug this in before we get to the last segment of the show. Another match assigned for Collision for tomorrow night. The Brawling Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, and Hazuki faces Athena, Billy Starks, and Diamante, Diamante. I don't know how to say that.
Diamante.
Yeah,
Diamante.
Diamante. So it's a
She's on
six
the AEW
women's. Yeah, it's a six women's tag match. So them are the only two matches that signed for Collision tomorrow night. I just want to make that little plug.
Perfect. And I would not be shocked if we don't see the Brawling Birds making an appearance during that. But
Yep.
yeah. So that match technically was the main event, but this is the last segment on the show. We got to
Yeah.
hear from Kenny Omega. It did not take long. Like he said like two words, and then Will Ospreay came out, right? We know that at the end of the show, Ospreay defended Omega from the Death Riders, took his side, went against his own crew, only for Kenny to kind of just turn on him, take advantage, and beat him down.
Yeah, Omega had that long talk to Osprey about how talk about friendship and whatnot, and he talked for a while though.
Yeah, they did. This show ended at like 10:30. We've been over this. They're calling his name wrong. It's Ocean's. Boo. Anyway, Mad Dog. Essentially, Osprey admits he's like, you know what? I liked being a Death Rider, and he said when I was down and out, when I got hurt, not a lot of people were there for me. He says, and I'll be honest with you though, John Moxley, he said he was there for me. He had my back, and he says he does feel like being a Death Rider helped him achieve success he failed to reach in the past when he had title shots and opportunities. Mainly like last year. I think this ended up winning. What was it? Match of the year, storyline of the year. Him and Hangman. He ended up
Yeah.
losing to Hangman. Hangman ended up being the one to take the title off Moxley. And he's like, if I had some of what Moxley has, some of what the Death Riders has, maybe I could have beat Hangman. Maybe that could have been me. And
Yeah.
so he basically tells Omega that he's not going to be, he learned his lesson. He's not going to be soft. Omega does not buy that. He basically suns him, and he starts like slapping him in the face, and he's like, Osprey's not buying it. I mean, not Osprey. Omega's not buying it. Essentially, he slaps him in the face like 3 times before Osprey even reacts. Which, once again, Osprey, Moxley was right. Why are you letting this grown man slap you? But to his credit, eventually he did fight back, and if anything, he kind of like got the better of Omega and started to kind of beat him down, and we got to see the Death Riders. Him and they're leaning more into each other now. Osprey is going to be the new champion, unfortunately, and the throne. Unfortunately, that is not unfortunate. dethrone the god Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is retiring soon, I think.
I
You heard
think so too.
I can't
I don't.
stand Omega.
Yeah.
Oh no, Cactus Katie. Is it because he's wait.
You got a couple more good
Ricochet is
years.
more my age. Oh.
But hey,
She's talking about she was talking about Ricochet. Ricochet, that's true as well. Ricochet is not bad to look at.
But yeah, but no. Osprey said something about he is going to pull the trigger and like he's going to do it right. He's going to do it right in front of Kenny Omega.
Well, Kenny wants to pull the B trigger.
Yeah.
Venomous Vincent, do you think Osprey's winning that title at All In?
I don't know. That's hard to say. It's hard to say because why would they give Kenny Omega the title and then just rip it off of him? I think Kenny Omega has a couple months before they take the title off of him.
It's difficult because what other opportunity would you have for Will where he's in London, right?
But see, it's like it's basically like laying right there on a silver platter for Osprey to win a title at Wembley Stadium, like in his hometown of London.
I mean, that's
England.
true too. That would make more sense if he won it, and that would make sense.
They're having this issue recently, like because I said before I thought Thekla had steam left in her title run. Only problem is you needed to get the belt off Thekla, mainly because they've for over a year been setting up Mercedes to win the title, and Thekla is a heel, Mercedes is a heel. Not that they're against doing face versus face, heel versus heel, but they do try to avoid it if they can. So you got to get the title on a baby face. But now Willow this is her first time winning the AEW Women's Championship. Now she has to face Mercedes. Are we going to just have her immediately lose it now? Because that kind of is not, this is her first title reign. That would be kind of an underwhelming way to end it. Or do you have Mercedes lose, which I guess you can do, but it kind of defeats the purpose of the story you've been telling for a year. I guess you could have her lose and then come back and win it from Willow again and face Willow again. I don't know. But that would be, when would that happen? How would that story play out? So I think in terms of the world title and the women's world title, they've kind of, timing is not exactly on their side, but I guess it's a good problem to have because they can go either way. I would be fine with Willow retaining. I would be fine with Mercedes losing it, regardless of what y'all say. I do want to see Osprey win it, though.
I do too. I think I
don't want to see Kenny keep it.
I think we're all in agreement here that Osprey's winning at Wembley.
Yeah, I think I totally forgot it's in London. So yeah, I do agree.
Although it would be so fast for Kenny, but I'm sorry, you got to pull the B trigger, but not that one. You got to let Osprey win it.
Yeah.
But that was Dynamite, and that was also our Redemption recap. I guess we can do grades. What grade do you give this Dynamite, Bobby?
I'm gonna let y'all go.
You're our guest, Venomous Vincent, so you go.
I am going to say I'll give it a B+ tonight.
I'm gonna say A. To be honest, I think that the matches on this show were not as strong as usual. However, I think the stories were very strong. But I would have liked a better main event. Maybe switch around the match order a little bit. I don't know. So I can't give it an A+, or I'm gonna go down to an A-. What say you, Bobby? Still,
I think I'm gonna lean towards a B+.
Gotcha. Fair enough. A- B+. The E being the WWE. By the way, I know because I coined that term. The E is WWE. Ocean Spray. No, Osprey will become your new champion. Unfortunately, it's gonna happen. I'll go. Oh wait, I read that, didn't I? I'm with Bobby, B+. B+ Bobby. There we go.
Yep.
Thank you guys for joining us. That was the show. Any closing words, Bobby?
Just appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, joining us. And also, don't forget, enjoy the rest of the UPR, what we got lined up for the rest of this week. And yeah, that's about it.
Correct. What about you, Venomous Vincent?
Well, you're gonna get a double dose of me the next couple days. You got me on tomorrow night with the executive consultant as we're run down the SummerSlam card at 7 p.m. right here on UPR, and then on Friday it's me and Gene back with another SmackDown Showdown episode.
Thank you guys for watching. See you all next week. Have a great one.
Adios.